June 22nd, 2017 marked an important day in Minnesota Timberwolves history. Many thought it was the beginning of something special, but 1 year later, and that feeling has gone from warm and fuzzy to colder than Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls show on YouTube. Let's discuss why that has happened. This romance between Jimmy Butler and Tom Thibodeau's T-Wolves started off well. They were familiar with each other and had great chemistry back in their time in Chicago. Many, including myself, thought that this big three of Jimmy Butler, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Andrew Wiggins would give the Golden State Warriors fits in the playoffs. But that simply didn't happen. The Timberwolves were playing well until Jimmy went down in the third quarter with a right knee injury against the Rockets. On the 23rd of February, Minnesota slipped all the way to the 8th seed, and if it wasn't for Jimmy's toughness to return on April 6th to save their season, they would have missed the playoffs for the 13th consecutive year. It's no secret that Towns and Wiggins are terrible defenders, and that's something that irks Butler. It's known that Butler doesn't love the idea of overpaying Wiggins that type of money if he's not going to even try and get better on defense. At least it seemed like Cat tried to play defense. Wiggins is another story, and it's a huge reason why this trio is having issues. Butler only played 59 total games, and it didn't help that the Rockets won convincingly in the playoffs. You see, some of our younger NBA players don't understand the type of hard work a player like Jimmy Butler puts into his craft. In my opinion, he's an old soul in terms of being obsessive over being great at what he does, and unfortunately, many players rather put in the minimum work and live a great lifestyle. See, that doesn't fly with Jimmy Butler, and it never did with guys like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. There is a reason why Jimmy had internal issues with the Bulls. It seems like the Timberwolves' young stars are not willing to put the work in, which, again, doesn't bode well with Jimmy Butler staying with this organization. He'd rather go to another team who has star-type players who are willing to lay it all on the floor every single night. That's how Jimmy approaches the game. That's why it's difficult to understand him at times. If you're not willing to match his intensity, then it's a no-go for you. If Jimmy believed Cat and Wiggins were as promising as many paid them to be, why would he decline a massive 4-year extension this summer? If you don't believe me, let's hear from one of the most well-respected players in the last decade. Jamal Crawford recently talked about his experience in Minnesota. Quote, "For me, it just wasn't a happy environment. I mean, does it get any worse than that? This is an 8-seed team we're talking about, guys. I got demolished by the Houston Rockets. Jimmy is simply not willing to put up with it, and I don't blame him." What do you guys think has happened with Jimmy and the Timberwolves? Is Coach Tibbs a bigger issue than what we think he is? Should they trade him now and get something for him? Or take that risk of losing him for nothing next summer, but have some hope of repairing this terrible situation? If you enjoyed this video, slap that like button and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one.